Coronation Street legend hospitalized with bleed on brain and sister's alibi doesn't add up. Toyah Habeeb has been hospitalized in Coronation Street following her attack, and her sister Leanne could have been responsible for the subsequent fire. As viewers of the ITV soap know, Toyah found herself in hot water with Abby Webster after she reported the mother to social services. Abby has been suffering troubling flashbacks and hallucinations relating to her son Seb's death in the aftermath of helping stab victim Mason Radcliffe in the moments before his own tragic passing. She subsequently left her infant son Alfie alone in the car park of Weatherfield precinct after her mental health declined further. Toyah, whose late husband Imran was Alfie's father, couldn't resist intervening. When Abby found out, she stormed her way into the Platts family home, number 8 Coronation Street, and knocked Toyah unconscious onto the floor. Devastated by her actions, she disappeared and was unaware that a fire would soon break out in the property. As the flames engulfed the hallway and living room, Nick Tilsley burst his way through the kitchen and dragged her to safety. DC Kit Green then had to perform CPR on her in the street. In tonight's episode, the flames continued to rise high around the home as the horrified occupants and their neighbors watched it burn. Abby looked on from the shadows and scarpered, with husband Kevin confused as to where she had gone. In the moments leading up to the blaze, Leanne threatened Toyah and launched a bottle of vodka in her direction. She has become hellbent on revenge, furious that her sister had shacked up with her ex Nick. The next morning, Kevin received a call from Wendy Papadopoulos, who had been babysitting Alfie, to say that Abby had picked him up earlier that morning and seemed nervous. Kevin's sister Debbie began to question whether she had ignited the fire. Suspicion was also rising at the Rovers, with Leanne worrying that her drunken, disorderly behavior the night before would place her straight in the spotlight. News reached the locals that Toyah was undergoing emergency surgery for a bleed on the brain. Tracy McDonald promised Leanne that she wouldn't tell anyone that she had threatened Toyah. But Leanne knew that she needed a better alibi. Enter Tracy's estranged husband Steve, who she shared a night of passion with last week. She told him that she was visiting their son Oliver's grave at the time the fire was ignited, and asked him to tell those who asked that they had been there together. When Kit arrived to ask her some questions, Steve went along with the story and she was off the hook. However, when Tracy found out about their brief reunion, she made it clear in front of all the Rovers punters that she believed Leanne was guilty as sin. And she could be, as cab driver Tim Metcalf later confirmed that he had dropped Leanne off at the cemetery in the morning. Along the cobbles, Kevin was surprised when Roy Cropper dropped Abby and Alfie home. He'd found her planning to drive away from Weatherfield. Kevin asked her to address her issues head-on, and booked her in for a home consultation with Dr. Gadders. Before the doc could arrive, Kit knocked on the door and said that Toyah had woken following her operation and had mentioned Abby in her statement. She would be required to have a formal interview at the police station. Was Abby responsible, and has forgotten about starting the fire due to her PTSD? And what is Leanne hiding?
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.